I'm Wade Wu, owner of 3, now 4, auto shops, and I used to think my life was solid. 15 years married to Jessica, steady money, the whole American dream package. Then, one October night, Officer Seth Mayer pulled me over for speeding, slipped me a folded note, and said quietly, "Do not go home. Get somewhere public. Trust no one." Inside the note, "Your wife is meeting Patrick Mullins at your house. He has access to your safe. She's planning to clean you out. Get evidence before you confront." Everything that had felt off for weeks, her secretive phone, late nights helping her sister, sudden interest in our finances, snapped into focus. What I saw when I didn't go home. I took a room under cash and watched my own house from the dark. Past midnight, a beater Civic glided into my driveway. Patrick, an ex-employee I'd fired for theft, let himself in with a key. He moved through my office like he'd rehearsed it, photographing files and carrying out cash. Minutes later, Jessica texted, "Staying at Gale's, love you." Her sister hadn't seen her in weeks. The next morning, while she showered, I opened a security system she didn't know existed and pulled footage. There they were, dozens of entries. Her walking him through my filing, opening my safe, literally pointing to what was useful. The audio caught her calling our marriage efficient. That word flipped a switch inside me. I built a quiet war room. I called 3 people. Oliver, my lawyer, who owed me a favor. Maria, a PI who treats money trails like archaeology. Clarence, an old friend who knows things official channels don't. Maria found the leak. Nearly $500,000 siphoned over a year into accounts in versions of Jessica's name. Clarence added the motive. Patrick owed heavy gambling debts to very unpleasant people. Harold, my accountant, warned me she'd been sniffing around my life insurance paperwork. The picture was ugly and simple. Steal what they could, then solve the Wade problem, and collect. Then Maria cracked Patrick's laptop. The man documented everything: dates, transfers, recorded meetings. One file caught them coolly discussing an accident at the shop. Another set a timeline. This weekend. I wasn't going to die for their plan. I was going to end it. The Last Supper, I invited them both to dinner at Morton's, public, bright, and loud enough to keep hands where I could see them. First course, bank statements and stills of Patrick strolling in and out of my home like it was a convenience store. Second course, audio from their planning sessions, no gore, just cold logistics. Diners at nearby tables went silent. Final course, a copy of the life insurance policy Jessica had taken out 6 months earlier. I told them the simple terms. Jessica signs a clean divorce with no claim to assets. Patrick returns what he took, plus interest. Otherwise, everything goes to the feds. They cracked right there. The alliance turned on itself. Jessica went chalk white. Patrick started sweating through his shirt. Collapse in real time. I didn't go home. I let pressure do the work. Patrick tried to fly on a one-way ticket. Flagged. His accounts froze. He sprinted to Jessica's, raged for an hour, and peeled off with the last bag of cash he could grab. Jessica, sobbing, begged me to come back. I told her to pack and go to her sister's for real, and not to call him again. My lawyer texted a photo the next morning. Divorce signed, spousal support waived, assets forfeited. It was the fastest surrender he'd ever seen. A few weeks later, Patrick disappeared. Officially, a debtor on the run. Unofficially, the kind of story best left with no footnotes. I didn't ask. I didn't need to. Jessica moved into a studio on the rough side of town. She kept the name off her mailbox, then left the state. I met her once, in a diner that smelled like burnt coffee. She begged. I slid her a bus ticket to Phoenix and $500. "Severance," I said. "If I see you again, I hand everything to the FBI." She took the envelope and vanished. Aftershocks Detective Angela Maddox came asking about Patrick. I told the truth that mattered. I'd fired him years ago. He'd stolen. We were divorced. She left a card. Months later, the case closed for lack of leads. Officer Seth's little girl got the surgery she needed. An anonymous donation covered what insurance wouldn't. He stopped by to say thanks, to no one in particular. I told him I was glad she was okay. I rebuilt my house, my systems, my hiring, my life. 1 year later, the fourth shop opened. Glass, steel, 12 bays, my name in letters you could see from 2 blocks away. Revenue doubled. Theft dropped to 0. People worked like their jobs mattered, because they did. Clarence brought a bottle and an update. Jessica, now using her maiden name, was a bookkeeper at a used car lot in Phoenix, living small and looking over her shoulder. "She checks our hometown news every morning," he said. "Afraid I'll appear again. I won't." I already did. Detective Maddox closed her file. The city cut our ribbon. And I finally understood the lesson I'd paid for in bloodless currency. In a world full of takers, you don't survive by being nice. You survive by being clear. Clear about boundaries, clear about evidence, clear about consequences. I'm not anyone's ATM, mark, or alibi. I'm Wade Wu, owner, builder, survivor. The day a cop told me not to go home, I learned how. And once I did, I never looked back.